This just might be one of the most badass folding knives I've tested in quite a while. It's a new Tenable Bömbur, and yeah, it's the same name as the chubby dwarf from the Hobbit, which is quite cool. But I've been testing it for about the past 2 weeks, and it's pretty cool, so let's check it out. So first off, let's start with the fact that it's actually massive. It might not look the part in my hands, I have fairly large hands, but it actually weighs a whopping 214 grams, which is quite massive. It's actually almost the same as this tactical knife, which is a Polish brand Zapas, and yeah, as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger. But when it comes to the blade, this one's actually thicker, as it actually has a 5mm thick D2 steel drop point blade, which, as you can see, looks super nice and super clean. Just to compare, side by side, this is about an average EDC knife. It's a Tenable Model 6, it's one of my favorite EDC knives, but when comparing them side by side, the difference is quite visible, especially on the blade thickness. So yeah, it's pretty decent. Let's compare it also to this one, which is actually the only folding knife that's heavier than this one currently in my collection. It's the Eclipse Knives EK180, and as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger, but they have the same blade thickness of 5mm. So yeah, it's a pretty thick blade. But when it comes to the handle, this is actually a G-Mascus handle. They have also other options, but yeah, this one is my favorite. In my opinion, it looks pretty awesome, especially with this grooving. Provides a really nice grip and feels really nice. As you can see, there are also grooves for the fingers, so it feels really nice. There's also a slight jimping on the blade. I would actually like it to be a bit more aggressive, as the blade is quite large, but it's still pretty decent. It does add a slight extra grip when pushing, but it could be a bit more aggressive, I'd say. Maybe not as aggressive as on the Rafa L, but still, yeah, for such a large blade, I'd like it a bit more aggressive, as I mostly use it for tougher tasks, as obviously it weighs quite a lot. But when it comes to overall functionality, it actually locks with a liner lock. As you can see, it's also pretty thick and actually works quite nice. And when it comes to the deployment, it has this thumb groove and also this thumb hole. So you can choose which one you want to use. And also, if the jimping was a bit more aggressive, you could probably also deploy it similarly to the Rafa L with a front flipper, as this popping out like this, but at least with my fingers I actually can grip it slightly, but it's slippery, so it would be more aggressive. It could work also like this. So yeah, besides that, when it comes to overall size, it has a blade length of just under 90mm and an overall length of about 212mm. So it's a pretty decent size for an EDC knife, as even though it weighs quite a lot, it's actually pretty comfortable to carry. But about that a bit later. First off, we'll discuss how it cuts, as even though the blade is pretty thick, it actually slices very nicely. Now, maybe could use a bit of sharpening as it's been used, but when it came in, it measured in at about, I believe, 270 and 310 on my sharpness tester, which is not great, but for such a thick blade, it's pretty decent. And it shows, as it still slices pretty nicely and can handle even the thickest zip ties pretty well, I'd say. But now, yeah, about the carrying part. First off, as you can see, the pocket clip looks actually really nice. It's actually machined, as you can see. It's not the standard bent steel like this or this. This is actually a machined chunk of metal, so it's very sturdy and quite strong. So even though it weighs quite a lot, yeah, it holds the blade very nicely. So let's put it in our pocket and let's show it. First off, it already takes a bit of pressure to get it in, so take a note. It might dull your pants, but when it's in, it is sliding a bit, but considering it's so heavy, the fact that it's not falling out, as you can see, I can even barely pull it out, is quite impressive. And as you can see, it looks super nice. And the clip can also be reversed to our side, at least technically, as this clip, as you can see, the geometry fits only one side, but the screws technically are there. So yeah, maybe they sell reverse clips, I'm not actually sure, but on this side at least, it looks really nice. But yeah, overall, I'd say this is actually one of my favorite knives of this year. It just looks and feels really nice. As long as you don't mind the extra weight, this is an awesome blade. And it actually costs under 80 bucks. So yeah, 80 bucks for a blade like this, in my opinion, is yeah, an awesome deal. So yeah, I'll obviously continue carrying it. If you want to join me, I'll leave the links in the description. Pick one up, and yeah, if you like the review, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next one. Bye!